Welcome to U.S. Immigration TV. In this video, I will discuss preparing for Biden's proposed immigration reforms. In a previous video, I listed some of the proposed reforms, including a possible amnesty for the 11 million undocumented immigrants, as well as a pathway to legalization for dreamers. Now, although Biden is not yet president, and although those proposals are not yet in law or in force, I think you should already start preparing so that when they do happen, you're already ahead of the game, because there's going to be obviously a rush for amnesty applications. However, many of the amnesties or requirements entail gathering certain documents and demonstrating eligibility. So what I want to discuss is, even now, before Biden even takes office, you can already take steps to gather documents in preparation for those reforms. Now, we don't know exactly what the amnesties or changes will be, and we don't know what the exact documents will be required. I'm basing this on past immigration benefits or amnesties, such as, the DREAM Act or the amnesties from the 80s or 90s. So let's go through some of the documents I believe will eventually be required in connection with any immigration reform. A current unexpired passport, as well as the passport you originally entered the U.S. on. Do you still have that? Go find it now. Your entry documents, including your visa and your I-94, the little white postcard document they staple in your passport. Because remember, unless you were born in the U.S., you had to have entered the U.S. at some point in time. So make sure you secure those documents demonstrating how and when you entered the U.S. Your identity documents. It could be your passport, it could be your birth certificate. If you have U.S. citizen children, secure their birth certificates as well, because a lot of the amnesties depend on a person having U.S. citizen children. Remember the old DAPA? It was put into effect and it was stopped with injunctions, but still it showed the importance of documenting that you have a green card holder or U.S. citizen close relatives. Documents showing your continuous residence in the U.S. Most of the amnesties required a person to enter the U.S. by a certain date and demonstrate that they have lived in the U.S. continuously since then. They can be documents such as visas, tax returns, doctor records, things like that. In other words, you entered the U.S. on a particular day and you've been here ever since. Gather documents to show you have been in the U.S. all that time, because it may be required. Documents showing your immigration history and status. You want to produce documents showing all the petitions and applications and denials that you have filed or received. Were you in deportation? What about all the deportation records? What was the results or status of the removal proceedings? All of those documents are important in connection with evaluating your immigration status, history, and possible eligibility for any proposed immigration benefit that Biden and the Democrats bring about. If you do not have those documents, there are ways to obtain them from the U.S. government. Other documents that are important are documents relating to your criminal history, if any. Have you been arrested, convicted? All of those things play a part in a person's eligibility for various immigration benefits, including a possible amnesty. Depending on the nature of the crime, you can or cannot be eligible for the benefit, but you should already be obtaining certified records of your immigration history. I again want to emphasize that Biden is not yet president. There are no immigration reforms at the present time. But what I am saying is you can already start gathering these documents in addition The documents that I just listed are important even now in connection with a person's immigration case or situation. I know that in my office, when a person comes to me for a consultation and wants assistance with their immigration situation, these types of documents are necessary even now to evaluate a person's immigration case, eligibility, and history. Therefore, I would strongly advise that you already start gathering the documents before this mad rush of people applying for amnesty, and then everyone's going to be going out and trying to gather these documents. You'll already have a head start. If there should be an amnesty, or you believe you're eligible for a particular benefit, I would strongly advise that you still seek the advice and representation of an attorney. While hiring an attorney doesn't guarantee success, in fact, attorneys cannot guarantee success, I believe it greatly increases the chances for your success. The attorney, just like a doctor examines a person's medical history and takes x-rays, the attorney can examine your immigration situation, history, and status, and evaluate the best course of action, even help you gather these types of documents. I hope you have found this particular video helpful to you, and I would encourage you to also view my previous video on the actual Biden reforms, and we will continue to keep you updated on all developments in immigration law. So therefore, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I do thank all of you for viewing this video. I'm Michael Gurfinkel, and this is U.S. Immigration TV.